because the fetus was struggling to stay alive, but the doctors was trying to help me, with this baby to make sure I'm okay and the fetus is okay. And I was about 2-3 months pregnant, so they was giving me. I was kept an eye on, thank God, but the prepartum came back, and I was extremely sick. What made it snap and what made it worse was the fact that I lost the second baby. It still hurts. Due to the abusive situation, I should have never. I was supposed to be bedridden, and once again, arguing and stuff led me to lose the baby. And it was weird because I didn't realize what was going on, because my first pregnancy, I didn't really have contractions. So when the second pregnancy came and I had contractions, around 2-3 months, it was confusing. I just thought it was just pain and maybe I should sit down until I started to bleed. And that's when I was like, something is not right. Went to the doctors. I didn't go to Beth Israel, even though something told me to go to Beth Israel, but I didn't go. I went to Metropolitan, and that was the worst experience in my life because I felt alone, really alone and scared. And the only one that answered and stayed on the phone with me was my friend Beth. I called the person that I was with. He didn't even, once again, at that point I was like, why should I be surprised? But in disbelief after everything. Fast forward, I was moved due to the situation and due to the police getting in. I was moved away from my family, away from everyone. So, like, the first time I was isolated living with that person, and then this time, the second time, I was isolated due to the same person, but due to the police getting involved. And like, I would cry and cry, and it got so severe that like I make sure that I stick with the routine. That's the thing people don't understand. Like, there's some people who could like focus and still like maintain like everyday life with depression, and there's not even a sign unless you truly pay attention. Like, I would feed my daughter, I would try to play with her, but it would be for a little bit, and it was like I was in like a black cloud. Like, everything around me was black, but I could still see my daughter. And I think that's what snapped me out of it. Sorry, I'm gonna get emotional. It really snapped me out of it. Seeing my daughter trying to take care of me. And hug me and kiss me and say, "Mommy's okay." Even though I didn't want her to see me that way, but it was so hard. Um, it was so hard. And for her to witness me arguing and being verbally and physically abused was another stigma. So I didn't want her to see me going through depression. Like, everything would turn black. Like, I know, okay, I gotta clean, I gotta cook, take care of my daughter, wash her, put her to bed, and then later on cry and fall asleep. And it was to the point that I was like, it's enough. Like, it's really enough. So, how I started was group counseling with other people that understood what I was coming from and individual therapy. And like force myself to get back out there to get what I call what is normal. It was so difficult. It was so difficult because where they moved me at, I had a roommate and she also went through depression as well, and it didn't help at all. It was, yeah, we did not get along, and she was dirty and like trying to make sure I'm okay, then my child, and then I have to worry about this lady, which was freaking crazy and going through her issue, but didn't want to have help and trying to trick people and making them believe that she didn't understand, which she did, was even more difficult at that time. And then going back and forth with courts and like doctor's appointments due to the loss of the baby. I lost a lot of blood and had a lot of medical issues at that time. And it was like, at times I did thought to myself, and I realized now that it was the depression, like, what's the point? And then I look at my daughter, and then I was like, there's a reason to fight. And that I started to realize there is people out there that do care. But people have to understand, like, when that YouTuber passed away, they was like, oh, why didn't he reach out? Or like, oh, it's their fault, it's other people's fault because they was encouraging him. And you have to understand, it's like all of the above. And especially when that person with depression feel like they can't rely on people. Like, there's people in their life, but when the person with depression knows that people that be like, oh, you could reach out, you could have just, oh, you could have talked to me and stuff like that. If you have your own issues and the person's dealing with depression, realize that they can't fully count on you and feel like they understand that you can't fully understand what's going on, they won't reach out to you. And that was my issue. Like, telling my family members that I was going through things was difficult. Like, I had to seriously break down, and my therapist and my counselors had to break it down to my parents to let them know, hey, this is what's going on with me. Because, like, the quote, like, oh, black people don't need therapy, black people don't go to therapy, I feel like that's like a whole bunch of pride and BS. Like, if you do need help, seek it. But I went to therapy and met new people, and like that really helped. Like eating healthy, focus on my health, focusing for the first time fully on myself, but not like as, somewhat myself and fully my child, but focusing on myself and my child is a main priority. Like that really helped me. And from time to time, like it comes back and it's really scary. Like that darkness for me is like darkness, like everything, my ears get fuzzy, like I can't really hear if I'm surrounded by people, or like if my daughter's around, like I can hear her but it's muffled, and it's like just everything turns dark and gloomy, and I get really sad. But the fact that it went severe to where I thought of hurting myself, that's when I started to seek help. Like I don't go to as therapy as much because like I feel things are getting back to normal, even though it fully isn't. It's things never gonna be perfect, but it's getting there. But um, like once in the blue moon, I still get that annual. I wouldn't say annual. If I feel like I need to go to therapy, I go, because my life and the sake of my child depends on it. And like I'm glad that my parents somewhat gets it. They understand it, and that's a plus. And my siblings from time to time reach out to me, which is cool. But like depression is a scary thing, and people don't realize like when your mind and body just disconnects and you at times don't fully have full control. I'll be right back.